Hey y'all, it's your girl Bree at Divine Emerald Heart. Okay? What's today? Tuesday? I hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday wherever you guys are in the world. Before I get into this shit, which this is an extremely serious message, and it's not to be taken lightly at all. Because it involves something called the Blue Code of Silence, which I will talk about as I'm reading. Yes, I used my phone because there's no fucking way that I could explain that by memory. But anyways, I hope you guys, especially the collective, you guys are doing alright. You still could be feeling some side effects of black magic that's being done with a voodoo doll. Remember, it's the prickling sensations. They're from needles, and if you're breaking out into rashes, no, it's someone taking a lighter, okay, and putting it as close as they can to the doll to make the doll hot. Um, And obviously, pay attention to all of the angel numbers that you're seeing. I've been seeing 111 a lot and 1111, 444, a lot of 555, which there are a lot of changes that are coming. Like I said, in my past recordings, I even said that this whole summer is going to be full of changes. And I'm sensing that like October is gonna be a big shabumo of a change, and like, how do I say it? October, I feel like it's gonna be a month where the shit is finally over when it comes to illegal crap going on and trying to make you look like a monster because see, the karmics, your karmic and his karmic, which is his wife, and the masculine's karmic, very secretly, they've been putting in false reports on you in a police station about how you're stalking, following, and being a nuisance to them because dying to get for some of you guys, they could have a restraining order against you and you don't even fucking know about it. But for some of you guys, you've been able to catch evidence on these people harassing you. And I've been able to get restraining orders for that. Well, I'll save the juicy details with this. You could be seeing the number 311, which talks about don't give up hope on love. You could be seeing the number 430, 914, a lot of 8s and a lot of 9s, and 1010, which means a completion. 422 in the time. Oh. So, and also, first and foremost, I should have said this in the beginning, but my bad. Thank you for everybody who has been watching my videos and subscribing and liking, and it means a lot to me. It really does. Let me see. Okay. Now, like I said, I will be talking about the Blue Code of Silence, but I'm not looking for any trouble with the law whatsoever. Okay? But the truth, when I have my downloads, the truth needs to be told, and that is my job from the divine and my archangels, that I need to deliver a message to the public because it's very serious. Anyways, moving on. Oh, before I forget, brace yourselves for, what is it, the full moon on July 29th. I'm not sure which sign that's in, but it's July 29th. So, next thing. When it comes to the vines, maybe I heard it through the grapevine. I don't know. Vines, usually talk about, you see in grapevines, and grapes are what make wine too, so, anyways, when it comes to the divine masculines out there, I highly advise that you relocate and that you do so with the quickness, if you're able to. But if not, then try to figure out some other place that you can go to temporarily. Because unfortunately, you still have a lot of shady people hanging around you, and they're about to get arrested any day now. And the feds will be involved. Having said that, I sense that the divine masculines have been secretly questioning themselves about whether these people have bad intentions for him or not. And the answer to that is, these people don't wish you well at all. They could give a fuck less. Shit. They'd want to see you put in jail too. Okay, and if anything, you were their second option to be a blood sacrifice because they couldn't sacrifice the divine feminine. I'm not shitting you. It's the truth. So, and this is a very, very important thing to remember. Follow your intuition. If there is something that's bothering you, like this nudge in your stomach, your gut instincts, if it keeps bothering you, it's there for a reason. Pay attention and listen. So, like I said, I'm not telling y'all what to do, but for your own safety and to save yourselves from being guilty by association, I highly advise that y'all fucking move. And if you can't, go find some place temporarily, whether it's maybe your parents' house or something if you have to, or shit, even if it's a Motel 8, a Holiday Inn, or whatever. And if you're gonna stay at your place, the only people I would allow in there are your roommates. Okay? And I'm saying all this shit because I really do feel like these arrests are gonna happen unexpectedly. to catch these people off guard. And like I said, you don't want to be fucking guilty by association. And also, one of my downloads, it's like these undercover cops that have been watching these people, they've been watching the feminine's house and the masculine's house too. And they know who and what is going on around the premises of both the feminine and the masculine's property. And it's a matter of if these enemies even set foot on your driveway, I mean, arrests happening right there. You know, the masculines you're safe. You are divinely protected with 444. Okay? But just to be safe, then sorry, man, I'd go stay somewhere else temporarily. And the roommates, if you got any, they may think that you're batshit crazy about why you're going, but you should tell them, hey, I think it's a good idea if you leave this house too temporarily because there's shit going on down and the feds will be involved. That's how serious these crimes are. Let's see. Oh, and I said, shit. As a divine masculine myself, I would love nothing more than to move out of here because, you know, it's not just me, but I know other divine feminines out there. We're sick and tired of being sick and tired of the black magic being done on us because of all the, physical and mental, psychological, and emotional side effects that it causes. We're tired of, the gang stalking and being followed everywhere, and the death spells thrown at us, which it falls under the category of death magic. And, death magic is meant to kill people. And so they can be used as sacrifices in return for, sacrifices to the devil in return for whatever the hell this coven asked for. And I'll be honest, coming from my own experience, these attacks were brutal and ruthless and just non-stop. And it was hard to fucking catch your breath and recover in between the attacks. But, I did it. I survived. The other divine feminines out there, they did it. They survived. This journey has not been for the weak. Okay? Not for the weak at heart. Not for people that are easily, how do I say? Not for people that can be easily mentally and emotionally broken down. But I mean, that's what this coven was trying to do. Break you down in every single way. But the weird shit was, with all those attacks, You learned something on every level. And you know what? And a lot of you guys learned how to calm down, learn to be grounded, brace yourself for whatever attacks are gonna come next, and to stay hyper vigilant about your surroundings and to have backup plans for, just in case if something did happen. But let me tell you what, I mean, if something did happen, like, for example, if somebody came up behind you and, like, tried to blindfold you, or try to use handcuffs with you and try to kidnap you, it would have caused a huge scene, and you would have gotten help immediately, because that's how the divine works. You may be putting, I know many divine feminines that, being put into dangerous situations, but knowing how to stay grounded and to stay in control of how they react to shit, so that if they have to react to someone hurting them, they can. And, cause a scene to get attention, to get help. And it just sucks that we had to be very hyper vigilant with our surroundings and shit. And because these attacks kept coming one after another, after another, after another, our bodies went into survival mode. And we got sick in many different ways. And because when your body goes into survival mode, it can cause anything from high blood pressure, fast heart rate, migraines out the asshole, uh, cortisol bellies from your adrenal glands crashing out. And just to let you guys know, if you don't know what the adrenal glands are, they're right above the kidney, I think. I'm not a doctor here, but if I remember correctly, the adrenal glands are located right above the kidney, and they're in charge of producing the hormone called cortisol, which is the chemical that helps you in, situations of fight or flight, how you're going to react in fight or flight mode, do or die, sink or swim, shit like that. But when you're constantly under pressure and stress and anxiety, like these people were doing to you, your body will physically give up or slow the fuck down and stop producing the cortisol. And that's where the cortisol bellies come into play, and the weight gain bullshit. And people were doing magic to take advantage of that and to fuck around with weight management, all of that crap. I mean, vitamin deficiencies in your body, anemia. Some people even went as hardcore as to ruin your ability to have children. But that didn't happen. Hell no. The divine, no. No, 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 no. because you're meant to have a child. I'm sensing a lot of you guys are meant to have boys. Some of you guys, twin boys, whatever, but yeah. Just a little shit, science education. And yes, the coven got off on the fact of how you had to live, how you had to change the way you thought, and how you were gonna react and shit like that. They got off on that crap because they're sick. Oh. And yeah, the divine masculines, y'all are divinely protected as well. And I sense that the divine masculine's karmic has been doing silent spells on him to keep him from speaking to the feminine, so that she can delay this reunion even longer. Because trust me, the masculine wants to speak to you, but his karmic has had him on a fucking leash, called a spiritual leash, from all the black magic that she's done. And this type of magic could involve her spitting into his food and drinks. Disgusting. Before serving him the food and drinks, and that's because spit, your saliva, it is linked to the throat chakra. And that chakra is related to speaking. So with these silent spells, by using her spit, she, and him eating and drinking any food, prevents him from trying to speak to you. Okay, and it's just like, when she was doing love spells on him and putting the blood of her menstrual cycle into the food and drinks too. It's disgusting, but a lot of this dark magic requires dark shit. Feces, urine, spit. I mean, it is gross. Let's see here. And there's other reasons why he's been taking forever. Okay, I mean, as we all know by now, one of them has to do with his fear of rejection. But this is where he needs to learn to take a leap of faith. I believe that the divine is testing him on his courage. And he needs to stop overthinking because it's causing him to experience overanalysis paralysis. Which means that a person is overthinking so damn much that they can't make decisions. Okay. And I think another reason has to do with the karmic doing black magic on him with energy manipulation to keep him confused and paranoid. However, I think these curses have either broken or are about to be broken. Okay? Because I know that in one of my past recordings, I mentioned how he was finally able to release himself from his own mental prison about, questioning whether or not should I reach out to the feminine, should I not? Should I reach out, should I not? What are the consequences of me reaching out, and and over-analysis paralysis, but I also think that it was energy manipulation to keep him confused and paranoid. 25:45 on the timer, as I said that. Hold on, y'all. Huh. It was 25:55 on the timer when I went to get me some more water. A lot of you guys need to start drinking more water too. It helps with the symptoms of your spiritual ascensions. Kadoki. But yes, in one of my last recordings, sure, I said that the divine masculine, either he's already done it or he's about to do it, is about to free himself from his own mental prison, which I think was a combination, like I said, of him overthinking, but also his karmic doing black magic with energy manipulation. Anyways, in addition to this, the collective population, especially the divine feminines, like I said earlier, we're totally tired of being gang stalked and followed, and also people hacking into our technical devices. And I'm saying this because, throughout the spiritual warfare, we were treated like we were less than animals. Okay? Because, with all of this stalking and following and hacking, and also, it took away our rights to our privacy, including when the monitoring spirits were sent our way, because those monitoring spirits were sent to watch us like hawks and to relay information back to the coven. Okay, but what makes this situation even worse is that we've been watched by crooked cops too. So we've been watched by good cops and by crooked cops too. Okay, and those crooked cops have been working with the enemies because they're a part of the Satanic coven too. And they've committed heinous crimes that include harming children. Warning. I should have said warning beforehand, but they've committed heinous crimes of all sorts, but they've had a thing about harming children. And I sense that the fuckery doesn't stop there. Alright? Shit. Because here's the thing. The police station that your karmic and their karmic wife and the masculine's karmic, the police station that they've been going to file reports on you, this police station is split in half in a way, like, it's split between the good cops and the bad cops, and the good cops, they were being fucked with black magic. You know, it was mental mind illusion magic and energy manipulation while trying to solve these cases. And it was a matter of some people could sense that shit was off, because the cops, the bad cops there, the satanic ones, they didn't seem to care too much about helping their co-workers and solving the crimes. And that's because they were the ones involved with committing a lot of crimes, and they didn't want to be caught. So, I mean, they went under the radar for a long time, while the good cops who are trying to do their job, they got tired of, not getting any help. And I mean, they've been getting so close to coming together with the whole full puzzle, but they've been stuck at a standstill, and that's because of black magic. And well, they got tired of the shit, and they got the feds involved, the FBI, because they're like, we need to solve this shit once and for all, because these false reports that have been coming in, this has been coming in for years, to try to make this feminine look guilty when she's not. False medical documents, okay? Which, I mean, the karmics, this is gonna resonate with some of you, not all of you, but they created false medical documents and forged your signature. And the good cops, they've caught on to this shit, but they needed some big dog help, and so that's the FBI, the feds getting involved, and so now the shit cops and the rest of the coven are shitting their drawers, because they know that they're in trouble. They know that the feminines are innocent. Because remember how I've been saying for a long time that this coven wants to have you guys arrested. But for what? And I meditated and I meditated. And, I could see authority figures that belonged to this coven, and, not doing a damn thing about anything, because they were trying to sacrifice you too. They were in on it. Inside job. Okay. Let's see here. Other crimes, I mean, it included fraud, identity theft, tax evasion, stealing social security numbers, stealing money or a house that belongs to the divine feminine, money laundering, sex trafficking, damaging graveyards when doing graveyard magic, animal cruelty for sacrificial purposes, going on the dark web and hiring a hitman to kill the Divine Feminine, along with the conspiracy to kidnap the Feminine with the intent to harm and kill her. This is a felony offense because it's premeditated murder in the first degree. And all of the other crimes that I mentioned, they're all major federal offenses too. So all this shit would make everyone go to prison for the rest of their lives without the possibility of parole. And well, seeing as how the good cops were confused, like I said, they had to get the big dogs involved. And well, those cops have been caught. The bad cops have been caught. And the higher authorities, like I said, FBI, FEDS, they have warrants to arrest these people, finally. It's been a long hell of an investigation because of all of this. It wasn't just attacking me with black magic, which they did find evidence of satanic rituals being done in graveyards. And, you know, if I'm correct, graveyards are considered private property. So, yeah. And animal cruelty, there were signs of black magic being done. And I mean, when it comes to court of law, these people, you know, they can't be persecuted because of their religious beliefs, but they can definitely be persecuted for damaging graveyards, animal cruelty, and for everything else that they did. And for not telling the truth about how a community of people, aka this coven, has been trying to frame the feminine for a false narrative and as a monster and forging signatures, all of it. Stealing money. Okay. And, you know, of course, the karmic masculine thinks that he can get away with being arrested. You know, but not this time. The divine and the archangels have had enough, and it's time for him to pay up his karmic debt. Especially with how Saturn retrograde just started yesterday. The 26th to the 27th, it just started. And Saturn is the planet of karma. So, and now that it's in retrograde, it's gonna go back. And the people who deserve bad karma, they're gonna get theirs. And the people that are innocent, they're gonna get good karma. Or, as I should say, dharma. Let's see here. Oh, and on another note, nobody from the coven wants anything to do with this karmic anymore. Because they see him for what he really is. And he's a fucking monster. 39:29 on the timer. Now that I've gotten all that information out of the way, it's time to start talking about the blue code of silence. Warning. Before I continue, I want to make sure that everyone knows that I'm not looking to get into any trouble with the law by disclosing this information. However, I do have the right to freedom of speech, and I am protected by the First Amendment right in the U.S. Constitution. And this information can easily be found on the internet as well. So, based on my research, the Blue Code of Silence, which is also known as the Blue Wall of Silence, it's an unwritten and informal rule that police officers use when they don't want to report or talk about mistakes made while on duty, or solving crimes, poor behavior, or crimes that other officers have committed. I'll be honest with you, when I read this shit, I was flabbergasted. I was. But nonetheless, I made a list here that talks about what's involved in this secret rule. And it includes the following. No reporting. This is when police officers don't tell their superiors or investigators if a coworker breaks the law or uses too much force while on duty. Lying to protect peers. If police officers are asked about an event, they may hide the truth or lie to keep another officer out of trouble. I feel like my throat chakra is swelling up on me, so I know someone wants me to shut the fuck up, but I'm not. The next one, punishing those who speak out. Most police officers who report bad behavior, whistleblowers, which, bro, all of us tarot readers that are talking about this shit, we are also whistleblowers telling the truth about shit that they've been trying to hide. This blew my mind. Okay, so most police officers who report bad behavior, whistleblowers, they often face heavy pushback, job loss, or isolation from their co-workers. Wow. And the reason why this code even exists, it's for strong loyalty. Police work creates deep bonds and a strong sense of family amongst other officers. And, the Satanic coven has been a family with strong loyalty, and they've been working with crooked cops for years. Just ponder this shit. Of course, this doesn't, this doesn't pertain to every single police officer out there, because not all of them are crooked or working with the Satanic coven. I'm just talking about specifically what's involved in this code of silence, and it just so happens that the crooked cops that have been fucking with us are, strong family bond with the Satanic coven. Like, I was flabbergasted when I read this shit. I was shocked. Okay, what the fuck? Oh, fear of outsiders Police officers usually feel like people who aren't in law enforcement will never understand the type of danger that they deal with, especially when it comes to protecting their own group first. Wow. The last one, fear of retaliation. Going against the group can ruin an officer's career or their own safety within the department. Get the fuck out of here. Well, now that I know this information, I guarantee that this is why the coven has wanted me and other divine feminines to get arrested. It's because we know too much information about what's going on within the Satanic coven and the crooked police officers, and that they've been working with the Satanic coven. So, technically speaking, us tarot readers, we have been breaking their own code of silence by speaking up. I had no idea that this code even existed. And yet, in my readings, I'm talking about shit that's been done with even, authority figures and crap. So this makes so much more sense. If you're still with me, thank you. Because now you know why these people want you arrested, and because then they got you under their thumb, and man, they would treat you like absolute shit in prison, and you're gonna die in prison. But that ain't gonna happen because there's people that know that you're innocent and they're defending your ass. And also remember, the divine masculine is constantly, the divine is constantly protected with you guys. When I said the divine masculine is protected, seriously, that's a warning sign that y'all need to stop hanging around whoever the fuck you're hanging around with. Get the hell out. Temporarily, if that's the case, and go somewhere else that's safe, because you do not want to be affiliated with these people and then be guilty by association. And no. Everything that is said and happens in a tarot reading, it's for a reason. So I said that for a reason. My mind just... But, like I said, anyways, all the collective, we're protected. We are divinely protected and being guided with our archangels and our spirit guides and ancestors. And to me, this is a revelation of truth of why they've been hell-bent on having us arrested and doing isolation spells on us. But you know what's funny? I think the isolation spells, even though they sucked, it's what saved us in many ways. Just think about that. I love you guys, and I will be using tarot the next time I see you.